don't think you know what you're talking about. You said the ankle bone connected to the hand bone. I just don't think that's right. Oh, hi. Are you here to give me a hand? Well, as you can see, I'm gearing up for my next favorite holiday after autumn, of course, the fall leaves, and Halloween. Uh, this guy's a little bit fallen apart here over the years, and I've got to put them back together. Anyway, this is Jeff Foliage, and this is the 13th episode of As the Foliage Turns. I want to welcome all my leaf aficionados. Some people find that a little bit better than leaf peepers as being a little creepy. I don't know. It's kind of fun saying leaf peeper. But anyway, today we're going to talk about where we're seeing fall colors even now in New England. I know I was all doom and gloom before, but we are still seeing fall colors, and a lot of them. It's not just a little bit, it's a lot, okay? We've got some surprises in the wares, and the oaks are up-hopping, which kind of goes together. Visited New England Fall Foliage, the group on Facebook. The link will be on the page, and it'll be down in the show notes. I'm seeing a lot of people posting, and that is the whole purpose of that group. It's not really to show you fantastic, beautiful, overly colored leaves. It's to show you what they actually look like. I'm going to start off with a few of our reports that are in. Like I said, go to the group and you will see a whole lot of people posting, at least 10 to 15 posts a day from all over New England, Vermont, Maine, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and a few from Connecticut. John Burke, photographer friend of mine, says the oaks are coming along on the Mohawk Trail, Irving in the Pioneer Valley. Mount Holyoke is got the late maples. There are some maples that still haven't turned. A lot of them are in city streets and residential areas and places like that. But the oaks are filling right in, and they are turning, okay? Butch Lombardi down in Rhode Island has beautiful color down around the reservoirs and down near Warren, Rhode Island, in his area. Last week, I reported Route 102, I think, and 44 were all turning real nicely, and I suspect that they are today and this weekend as well. In the group, Maria says in Medfield, Mass, she went to a scarecrow festival, and said orange trees were everywhere, and all along from Bolton to Littleton on 495, everything was in color. All the oaks are turning on some of the roads there, so that's something to think about. Thank you, Maria. But that was back on Monday. Today's Wednesday, and the 22nd of October, and so take that with a grain of salt. We'll see what you find, but we haven't had any real serious weather. We've had some rains coming through. Monday we had a couple inches of rain up here. Today we had another half inch or so. So we've got some rain, and that does bring down some leaves. So I think, well, we'll go on. Well, I'll come back to that. Joanne Vitale, photographer down of southern New Hampshire, says Bellows Falls, Vermont, Shelburne Falls, Mass, are looking very colorful right along the rivers and the reservoirs. Find yourself a farm stand or a farm to go pick apples, and I guarantee it, you're going to find fall colors with those apples, okay? She also says the oaks are coming right along. I'm seeing a resurgence personally in the fall colors up here in western White Mountains along Route 25. There are quite a few oaks along the way between Plymouth and Warren and up to North Haverhill. And the oaks are really, really looking good. You're going to see a few pictures here. Um, I did some with my drone Monday evening as the rains were quitting. The sun kind of popped out, but not really. It didn't really clear the clouds, but the sky took on a really unique color to it, kind of a reddish pink a little bit, and had ground fog coming up out of the valleys over the Baker River, which, oh my gosh, it had water in it for the first time in a while. Um, you'll see some pictures here, obviously, for that particular day. And Tuesday and even today, I've gone out with my cell phone. I've looked at the hill across the way from us, across over the Baker River, and the hill is just really pretty. And it's the majority is oaks. The maples came and went real fast this time. There's a few maples around that are late, but for the most part, it's the oaks that are bringing up the rear here. So surprises and the oaks are basically the same thing. The surprise is I haven't seen oaks turn this colorful in a long time, and I thought we were going to lose them. Back in the end of September, early October, I was seeing oaks that were brown and going bare. Obviously, it was not all of them because, as you've seen, it is looking really pretty out there. And I'm up in the Western White Mountains. I'm 2 hours north of the Mass border and in New Hampshire, and I'm seeing wonderful fall colors. I mean, I got a whole hillside. You'll see a few pictures here. The whole hillside is in color. There are bare trees. I don't want you to think that it's like, ooh, it's like peak color and everything, but it's peak for what it is. And it's yellows and oranges, some russet colors mixed in there, maybe a few reds. I'll show a picture here. Down at the gas station, I found this small shrub, not shrub, but a red oak, about 3 feet tall. Wow, it was red. I mean, I'd love to have that in my yard. Now, like I said, I've been seeing a lot of oaks turning, and I was worried about nothing when it came earlier this season. I was like, oh no, it's all gonna go. Nope, nope. Mother Nature pulled another one on me. Um, the orange colors and the valleys leading over to Mount Moosilauke in the north of me are all looking really good. And again, watch the Facebook group if you can, and we'll see what happens. But I'm finding really, really pretty colors out there. Most people, myself included, tend to think of the early colors, the end of September, the maples, birch, other trees, sassafras, you name it. They come in early, at the end of September, and they're gone usually by mid-October, and then the oaks start coming in. Okay, and that's what is normal. This year, the maples and everything came in early in September, all the way through September. We were seeing that, and so it's a little bit unusual for us. We kind of like the maples. We're kind of attuned. We're kind of programmed to show up early, late September, or early October, and look for those, maples, the birch, the hickory, the let's see, poplars, you name it. We got such a diversity of trees out here that, we're covered on a lot of fronts by a lot of different trees. So if one tree kind of fails, there's other trees that kind of fill in for it. And, we tend to be told we must show up now. This is when peak is. Well, I've been here for 20 years and I've seen the oaks. I've never really paid a whole lot of attention to them. And obviously, I was wrong. It happens, deal with it. So those people who, if they're still showing up, this time period, this weekend, you still are going to find some wonderful colors. They may be different than what you're looking for, what you expect. But I guarantee it, that hill above me is going to be colorful through this weekend. I don't see any really strong winds. And oaks, the good thing is they hold on to their leaves really tightly. They rarely let go until, I don't know, 3 months in of snow. And then brown leaves hit the ground. But oaks hold on to their leaves. So I think if you are tolerant of maybe not seeing as many reds as you'd like, you'll see a lot of color that you do like. Okay. Okay. So overall, we tend to search for, the maples and everything early, and that's how we're programmed. And, people say, well, based on what you're looking for, this is when you want to be here. But if you're locked into later dates, you still should be able to search for and find some wonderful fall colors. It all depends on the year. And this was a pretty dramatic year as far as drought goes. We're still in drought. It's going to take a while longer. If we get, more rain like we're getting, this week, and we get it maybe later next week, and after that, we'll dig ourselves out of this hole and we'll start filling in those lakes and ponds that you so like to see reflections on. Don't worry, I do too. Okay. Someone asked how I know the colors were from oaks in a drone shot, which you'll see here. It's not that I know for a fact every one of those trees is a oak. It's that at this time, the maples have dropped. You'll see a lot of bare trees in this picture. The maples have gone. The birch mostly have gone. I'm still finding a few along Route 25 that are yellow and they got at least half their leaves. And I'm very surprised at that because they have this year gone early. But then there's some that just keep going. The Energizer Bunny of, the leaves. And, it's like some maples still have their leaves. Some birch, they still have their leaves. It's not widespread. It is rather limited, but they are out there. But anyways, so I don't know that all the trees on that hill above me are oak. They could be hickory, dickory, or dock. I don't know. But at this time of the October, the last 2 weeks, should be looking at more oaks than maples. Okay, that's what I know. And it's all up to Mother Nature other than that. It's 20 years of guessing, I think you can chalk it up to. Okay, so this weekend, 25th, 26th of October, 2025, if you have to go looking for the fall colors, it's a fun thing to have to do. You could head north. You could come up to the Lakes region or points south in New Hampshire, Vermont, southern Maine. They got a ton of oaks over there. And you can take a look on my webcam page. See if you can spot anything there. There are webcams in the Lakes region, over in Maine. I've got a few in Vermont. I'm afraid the maples around Waitsfield are gone, and the covered bridge there. But you should still be able to find color this weekend in the southern areas, if nothing else, of those 3 states. In Massachusetts, I would say all over. Is not a particular area that I'm going to send you to. The the reports are saying, south of Boston, west of Boston, Groton, Townsend off of Route 119, along Route 2, the Mohawk Trail, Irving, Shelburne Falls. I don't know too much. I haven't seen too many reports, or very few, over the western areas of Massachusetts, but they have oaks out there, so there's a good chance. Down in Connecticut, if you looked at the Litchfield Hills over in the east, the northeastern corner is called the Quiet Corner of Connecticut, and places like Pomfret and Thompson is a real pretty little town, very immaculate. They keep it really nicely done, and it's always worth a nice little visit there. Okay, Rhode Island, like I said, Butch Lombardi is finding, near the water and things like that. A couple of the routes he reported last week were 44 and 102. Mark Spermoli, he found, some shots around Providence. So they are finding pretty color in and around various areas. I would head for maybe the state parks in Rhode Island, just south of Massachusetts, or into Connecticut. If you're not having any luck, you should be have a list of your plan Bs. Those are always critical. Covered bridges, meeting houses, events, farms, things that you read about and you want to go visit. Don't make it about, like I do, driving from tree to tree to tree to find fall colors. Make it more about exploring and seeing what you find. Get off, the highway and, travel some of those back dirt roads. They are usually very good. If it's too rough of a back road, then it's too far out for you. Most farmers' back roads that are dirt are well graded and they're fairly smooth, to be honest. So you should be able to find what you're looking for. And if you just look for your plan Bs, on the way to those plan Bs, you will find the fall colors you're looking for at the same time. Okay. Now, my next episode, number 14, will probably be a recap of 2025. It'll be the last one for the year. There'll probably be a slideshow with pictures and music, and not a lot of talking from me, which is probably a good thing. Look for this maybe the first week of November, second week of November. And other than that, if you have any comments, things that you'd like me to cover more when I'm doing these episodes, let me know. Leave a note down in the comments, what you like, what you don't like. I won't ban you for giving me a negative comment, but it's like, let me know what you'd like to see. And other than that, I want you to have a wonderful fall foliage day. Be safe out there and have fun driving. Okay?